me to do this. I'll be honest with you, they started asking me, I said, you're nuts. I started looking back at my family's history in this county from 1926 and the service that we gave to this county. My grandfather was a supervisor. My father was on the school board and on a couple other commissions within the county. My experience in Amador County, where my career has been, for reasons which I believe then, I believe now when I went to work there, I received a wider variety of experience in a shorter time, making me qualified for this position. What I want to bring back to El Dorado County is the style of law enforcement that I remember, that you remember. The great sheriff that we had here, Dick Basilio, was a great man. That style is what I want to see back in this county. That's what I'm about. That's what I believe in. That's what my roots are, and my roots are here. Fourth generation. That's why I'm running for sheriff. I know I can do it. I want to get there because you deserve it. You deserve that service. My family deserves that service. That's what I want for each and every one of you. So thank you for the opportunity of being able to do this in this democracy that we have. Just thank you very, very much for coming.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start just by thanking the Central Republican Committee of El Dorado County for hosting this event and for Assemblyman Ted Gaines to moderate this forum that we're having here tonight. But most of all, I'd like to thank all of you for turning out tonight to listen to the future sheriff of this county. One of the future sheriffs is sitting right here, discuss this very, very important issue. I'm seeking the office of sheriff because I truly believe that a new kind of leader is needed for this county. Someone who has a background that transcends one agency, one organization, one law enforcement organization. I'm truly concerned about the future of public safety in our county. We're faced, as you all know, with some trying budget times. And times are going to be tough for the near future in terms of resources. We're going to have a leader who knows how to get the most out of the resources that are available, knows how to prioritize programs, and knows how to motivate people to do a job under tough circumstances. The one thing that we cannot compromise in this county is public safety. I spent 30 years at the Department of Justice and I worked a wide variety of cases. But our main role at the Department of Justice was to provide support services to local law enforcement. And during my tenure there, we developed many positive programs, such as the Sexual Predator Program and the Cal Gang program to support gang enforcement in the state. These were innovative ideas, and I think the time has come for innovative ideas in El Dorado County and to think outside the box and to bring some new ideas into the environment. If we're going to continue to expand community policing, to keep sexual predators off the street, to protect those people who are victims of abuse and our elders who are victims of elder abuse and those that are victims of domestic violence, and to get ahead of the drug problem, then we need someone who has done those things, who has made things happen, and I'm that person. And as your sheriff, I will make things happen regardless of the resources that are available, and I'll keep our community safe.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you to the Republican Central Committee. This is a very important issue, and I really appreciate you inviting me here to be tonight. El Dorado County has been my home for my adult life. I'm raising my family here, and I want this to be the best and safest place to live, work, and play. As a peace officer for the past 24 years, I've dedicated and committed my entire adult life to public safety and policing, to protecting and serving the people of El Dorado County over the past 20 years. As this race has progressed, I've personally become aware that there's no candidate out there who is as prepared as I am to lead our Sheriff's Department forward. I'm running for sheriff because many others and I feel that I have the most to offer our exceptional county. As the Placerville Chief of Police, I have a distinctive and unparalleled combination of experience, education, training, leadership ability, and local commitment not present in any other candidate. My 20 years of community involvement and dedicated community service right here in El Dorado County sets me apart from any other candidate. I intend to greatly expand community policing, combat child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, and elder abuse. I'll confront the growing scourge of gangs and drugs. I'll significantly expand collaboration with all public safety agencies. I'll provide crime and drug prevention programs to kids in schools, and I'll promote disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. I'll maximize limited resources with volunteers and technology. I'll promote reentry programs for prisoners, and I will protect gun rights. I ask you to look carefully at my background and qualifications. You'll see that for many years, I have diligently served law enforcement, citizens, families, and children right here in Dorado County. Not as a political maneuver, but because I sincerely believe in community service and serving our community. I'm a professional peace officer with a
George, you're going to have to wrap up.
Of strong, ethical, and innovative leadership, prepared to lead our Sheriff's Department into the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, George, we're going to go ahead and start with you for question number 2. What are your feelings on the Second Amendment?
Thank you, Ted. The Second Amendment says in part, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Self-preservation is one of our individual constitutional rights, and the Second Amendment was drafted by our founding fathers as a safeguard to protect that right. This right, as an individual right, was recently affirmed in the Heller decision by our U.S. Supreme Court. The ruling in part stated that the Second Amendment protects the individual right to possess and carry weapons in case of confrontation. I believe that every citizen should have the right and option to be well-trained in the use of their individual firearms in defense of self and country. The Supreme Court of our land has always recognized that the Second Amendment protects and was intended by the framers to protect and cure the individual right of individuals to keep and bear arms useful for defense, hunting, training, and all other legitimate purposes. This is what I believe, and this is what I am prepared to promote, defend, and advocate for. Thank you.
Great. Bob, you're up.
I too am a strong believer in Second Amendment rights. And I believe that now more than ever that we need to stand up for those rights, for those individual rights that we have to keep and bear arms. I believe our founders' intent in that Second Amendment was to give us the right to protect ourselves, our families, and our community. And as Sheriff, I will assure that those rights are protected. Thank you.
Again, I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment, but I want to add to what these two gentlemen said. By going back and looking back when our founders wrote those documents, when they said the right to keep and bear arms, it wasn't about hunting. It was about your rights to preserve your freedoms, your liberties. That's what the Second Amendment is about. That's what it was written for when it was written. Those values and those visions haven't changed. I'm very pro-Second Amendment. I understand what those rights are. Your right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That was that.
I was joking with a couple of people before we got started, wouldn't it be suicidal to come up here as a candidate and say, I'm not for guns? So let me be clear. I possess them, I own them, I've always had them, I have a background in that. I'll tell you that I